Hello, my people. I'm back to bother you guys again. I'm back to take over your whole morning or your whole afternoon or your whole evening or your whole night or your whole whatever it is and do nothing but yap, play a couple games here and there, waffle, argue, find excuses, and leave. And I spent 6 hours doing that. So, welcome. This is the beginning. My chat isn't working on my phone. I don't know why. I can see Restream doing his thing on YouTube with Twitch chat, but I can't actually see Twitch chat doing his thing, which is a little bit worrying. How about I go on Twitch chat on this phone and then switch over to YouTube on my other phone? How about we try that? I've also deleted the VOD by accident before it's even gone up. So yeah, that's interesting. Okay, I see Twitch chat on that phone. So I'll use Twitch for that one and then YouTube on this one for the time being until that one needs to charge, and then I'll swap them around. This is the behind the scenes logistics of LWD Enterprises. Also, that's always exposed. There we go. Hello, nerds. What have you been saying? You've been saying a lot. I'm sorry that I've let you down with all of those. 1 second. I'm sorry that I've let you down with all of those failed commands. Should be clickety clack. What is clickety clack? When you say clickety clack, what exactly are you referring to? What is clickety clack? My burner phone days are over. Or are they? Guess it just depends, really, doesn't it? I guess it just depends. Right, I've got PlayStation controller in hand, headphones on. Can't find comfort on this chair. Good to go. I really didn't want a white controller because, oh yeah, I've got my good old trusty lo-fi. Let's say something 3 trailer music. Trailer music. Why did you say music trailer? You confused me. Trailer music. I did consider whether that was what you were talking about. Can you imagine if I actually was to make that like the intro music? I'd lose all the all the viewership before it's even begun. Right. Not Creators Club. We're going back into Kensingtalbahn or Frankfurt-Fulda for the journey mode. I'm going to lift this a little bit, which I'm going to need to lower that a little bit. I think that should be okay. Nope, too low. That's fine. I think. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Where were we? The 114 is still broken, I believe. So there's just no point in touching that. We're going to do a lot of these ones. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Honestly, we might spend the rest of we might spend this whole stream just doing these ones. After that birthday, my tip should change it. New chair font. Nerd, if I didn't get spoiled for my birthday, what do you think Like, what do you think I'm gonna get for a chair fund, mate? Like, what do you actually think I'm gonna get for a chair fund? Like, the birthday's meant to be like the event where I get spoiled, right? Where money just rains down from the sky. And well, well, that didn't really happen. So I will accept defeat, or will I? No. I mean, I've considered doing like actual like dono goals before. I don't know. I guess I could. Well, I wonder if I made a donation goal for that. If you guys would help me out. God forbid. I tried to mess around in my settings today, and I tried a whole lot of like different resolution type stuff, but I actually went down to 1080p. I was doing some testing earlier. I went down to 1080p, and at Frankfurt, where like there was like a bunch of trains stabled, I still only had like 20 something frames. But the weird thing is, the GPU is only at 60% utilization, which makes sense. Of course, at 60% utilization, I'm not going to be getting the full shebang. And I did some like searching around on why that happens. Like, why am I only at 60 FPS? Why am I, only at 60% GPU usage, but the game's running like wank at 30 FPS? And it was a Star Citizen thread on Reddit, but everyone was saying the same thing about optimization. And so I'm assuming it's the same thing over here. It's an optimization thing. After mentioning Clickety Clack streaming from 4 viewers to 2. I mean, it's not like 4 viewers was a new record anyway, right? So, yeah. And I guess it'll just take some time. What am I looking for? Yeah, stop marker. It'll just take some time for the numbers to build up anyway. We do have these days. It's quite odd. Tell her in a bill. It's quite odd. Where sometimes 3 seconds into the starting screen, there could be like 10 viewers. And then other times, an hour in, it would just be 3 people. Me being one of them. How you doing, Nabil? Oh yeah, I've brought in the lurk command now. So, yeah, I think that's cool. For those people who are going to use it. Zoomy a zoom. I want zoomy a zoom. Yeah. Yeah. It's more like it. Well, basically, from what I've learned last week, there are people who will like be on the stream, but will have it on in the background, for example, while they go and do other things. So they'll leave like a lurk command to basically just let me know that their viewership is there, but maybe they won't actually be there, or maybe they just won't be present in the chat. Maybe they'll just literally just watch silently, basically. So the lurk is basically like, hey, I'm here, but you're not going to see much of me, basically. And it's not something that comes up often, but I do get people just doing exclamation mark lurk, but obviously nothing happens because, well, I didn't really know about it. So yeah, it's a small quality of life thing. Basically creep mode, I guess, yeah. It's kind of in the name, innit? Yeah, basically, no. Basically, I guess you could combine the two. It would be a very specific and particular niche. But what I've learned over my my years on Earth is that, like, literally anything is possible. If you can imagine it, it's either been done or being currently done. So honestly, mate, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it could be a challenge, isn't it? If you're one of those people that like to kind of challenge themselves when it comes to that sort of thing. Hey, each to their own. I don't judge. I don't judge. I don't really count in this whole points thing. Like, if we're being honest, you can't count me. Because, well, I'm always going to be here. Like, to be fair, I could stream and not be on Twitch watching myself. But I kind of need to see the chat. And I don't have a second monitor to use, I don't know, some sort of OBS extension or whatever. So I kind of have to be present on Twitch. Bonjour. Ça va? Basically in a build stream anyway. I mean, Nabil holds a lot of power. A lot of the times, it honestly might as well be. If he wanted to take full control, he could. He could mess with my title, mess with the tags, do some ridiculous polls like, will Adnan get another emergency break, for example? He takes care of raids. It basically isn't a build stream half the time. I'm sort of here just to like fill in the gap and talk and show my face because the build's very secretive. So you get, instead of Nabil's face, you'll get to see mine instead. Oh, Nabil, oui. Entiendes? I actually don't know a lick of French. It's ridiculous. Hey, Mr. D. What's good, my man? How you doing? Secret service? It's not secret at all, mate. It's just service. It's just service. Hey, D, I heard flipping. You've left Ballers. I've heard on the grapevine. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. It's making for like a sick, like, this is like a mid-season drama kind of thing. But yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah. I was speaking to Ali yesterday on her stream, and yeah, basically the whole like ESP thing, and yeah, it made like there was literally actually no choice. So yeah, man. Game's the game, innit? Game's the game. I am only here for the talking about, yeah, pretty much, mate. Just here to waffle along for a little while. Like I said, I'm here to take 6 hours of you lot's day, just waffling and fighting and arguing and excusing every little mistake that I make. Hey, D, it could be a blessing in disguise, because wherever doorway opens up from here would not have happened with the still part of Ballers, do you know what I'm saying? So it's like an in the moment, you don't really see what's happening, but I feel that there's sick things coming, like proper sick things coming that just wouldn't have happened without this particular move. Because Demo's gonna sting a little bit, got bite the bullet, but yeah, it's gonna be a sick future. 80. Oh boy, when we were meant to slow, when were we meant to slow down to 80? I did not see 80 at all on any of the signals. Oh, he'll figure out for sure, man. He'll figure out for sure. If D don't figure it out, he will cease to be D. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. He's always a man of the plan. Danny's not in jail, nerd. Danny is not in jail. Yeah, hey, listen, that's the thing. That's the thing. Put him through the fire. Listen, fire creates the most solid of materials, you know what I'm saying? So, F it. Let's see what happens, man. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, listen, so does Danny, man. So does Danny. His man's in the UK doing his thing, but his heart's very much in LS. And he don't really know what's going on. So he's gonna come back to... I don't even know how to describe it by even swearing, man. Like, he's gonna come back to a mad thing. Because Danny, if it's one thing that Danny was, maybe he was a bit silly, but he was loyal. So to come back and like have that loyalty like up in flames, basically, because it was all one, right? Ballers, Autumn, D, Jalen, it was all one. So to have it just spread out everywhere across the map is yeah, it's gonna be mad. It's gonna be mad. Literally, like actually though, actually. They'll come back to Autumn completely losing control of whatever she's doing. D's somewhat solo riding at the moment. Boilers is no more. It's like, rah. Actually up in flames. His world is actually gonna be up in flames. Which is gonna make for a sick I guess arc for him as well. I mean, yeah. We'll see. We're talking hypothetically, right? When he does come back to the city. I mean, 5.0 was announced recently. Although, has it just begun development? I highly doubt it. Question is, how far in development is it? How close is it to release? Hello. What are you waiting for, geezer? What are you waiting for? All you lot that's sitting here with your arms folded, suitcase in hand. What are you lot waiting for? You... This ain't really like an information board, is it? It can only tell you pretty much like one thing at a time. So you can't really see like what else is coming and when it's coming. You got a little cube behind you, love. You gonna get a ticket or what? Looks like a dude. Not a dude though. There's nothing on the screen anyway. Don't blame ya. Shouldn't these lights turn off now? I don't know how it works in Germany, like in the UK. Yeah. That one's off. That one's still on. Like some are on and some look off. Like in the UK, they'll all be off once the doors interlock. What? It looks like me how? Like literally how? Different skin tone, no facial hair. The hair is kind of long, but it hasn't reached that length yet. I'm actually shocked at how slow. Like, again, my hair does go slowly naturally, but it's been like, what, a month and a half now? Or 2 months since I got my trim. Still, like, hasn't grown. During COVID, I could stretch my hair down to my nose. But that was after not cutting my hair for literally months. Just letting it grow out. And then taking it upon myself to cut my hair, which, well, let's just say it could have gone a lot better. Same hairline is crazy. You're not even lying. I can't even sit here and be like, what are you talking about? Like, no, you're spitting facts, Nod. It's not something you do often. It's not something you do often. But right now, yeah. I gotta admit, mate. I wonder how much of it can be salvaged. I don't think so. I don't think much. Like, if I'm probably going to regret this. But if I do that, like, it's probably not much that can be salvaged, really. Like, yeah, the decline has very much begun. Very much begun. Like I said, though, I'm ready for the bald look. Like, I'm so confident I can rock it so well. If I could trust my hair to grow back completely, I probably would have given it a go. Hey, hello, Dommy. You're always factual. Are you lying to me? Are you lying to yourself? Are you lying to everyone in chat? Like, what's the aim? Because, I mean, that statement is just, I mean, it's laughable, really, isn't it? Nerd always factual. Nerd always factual. I mean, when you've got evidence, it's hard to argue. I'm talking genuine evidence, you know, not that photoshopped nonsense. How you doing, Dommy? All the clips prove it. Yeah, I mean... Oh, this guy's really like chilling, ain't he? He's chilling. I mean, kind of, you know? Kind of. They kind of prove it. They don't tell the full story, though. We're getting these... We're still getting these heavy starters. But... Hey! Mr. Carter. Carter paid a little visit to London today. I saw. Carter was driving around in London today. All the anti-London propaganda, it didn't work on him. He thought, you know what? I'm gonna get myself to London, get in a bus, drive it around. So how is it, Carter? It was quite good. Really? Really? You know what? London's got a lot of stick in the reviews, you know? And my experience, which I think can be quite taken, you know, decently well, being a Londoner myself, it was okay. The performance, I think, was interesting, but Nabil helps me with the settings, and I ended up having a smooth experience, actually, performance-wise. I thought it was cool. Some laziness with, like, the shops and like, the repetitive stuff here and there. But I thought it was cool. I'm very familiar with a lot of the areas in that route on that DLC, and I think it's pretty decent, to be completely honest. Yeah, I think I had some... I think my mirror settings were such that they wouldn't be functional unless you specifically looked at them. So even if they were in view, when you're looking straight ahead, they wouldn't work, which I found a little bit annoying. But if it meant better performance, then yeah, I was fine with it, I guess. Every rear mirror takes like 10 FPS. I believe you. I believe you. And usually you get pretty good performance, Carter, from what I see. you usually get pretty good performance. So that's very, very telling. But I'm glad you were able to enjoy the experience regardless. So was that part of the company stuff that you're working towards with Nabil and me soon? Or was that completely separate? Because I know the company, from what Nabil told me, it utilizes different routes. Hello, Mr. D. How you doing, mate? You alright? It's a solo, but it's ready for online. We've got 2 Ds now in chat. I don't know how to feel about that actually, when I put it like that. For context, Mr. D, delinquent also goes by D. So we've got 2 of you now. Double D. Okay, that one flows a little bit. Oh yeah, I think I prefer double D. Oh, actually, you know, I don't think however you spin it, it sounds particularly great. I'll just acknowledge you guys. It's singular. Oh, all right, actually, you know what? No, D double kind of, yeah, it kind of flows. It kind of flows. No copyright intended, Mr. D double E. D double flows. D1 and D2. See, now it just sounds like, it just reminds me of R2, D2. You're very welcome to the channel, Mr. D. The only issue I'm having is Carter. Any songs I'm bring sung? No. None today. We haven't had any yet, and we won't have any. I have a dilemma, Carter. I was talking yesterday, so there are so many games that I want to play. So many games, but so little time. I want to play Train Sim World. I want to play SimRail when the update comes out. I want to play Euro Truck. I want to play American Truck Sim. I want to play Trans-Siberian Railway Sim. When the update comes out and it's in a playable state, I want to play Ship Simulator. Ship with a P. I want to play through the Mafia franchise. I mentioned that yesterday. How do I do that? I've got uni coming next week. Luckily, I'm only going to be there 2 days a week, but it's still going to be something to take into consideration. So I just don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know what to do. And I would prefer to have a consistent schedule week in, week out. But I don't think it's realistic. I might have to do like a bi-weekly schedule like I had once upon a time. Or maybe at least for a few games, bi-weekly. Yes, nerds will clip any that happen. There you go. So if I lie about my failures, I will have evidence against that. Yeah, D? Talk to me, man. Talk to me. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. The catalyst for these ideas is taking place. Holiday Express for a 12-hour stream. I'll do Holiday Express for a 12-hour stream if I get like a £1,000 donor. Like, that's it. It's just not worth it otherwise. Not worth it otherwise at all. Like, you're joking. You've got to be kidding me. Consider you don't need to add. What's SW? And Dragon Age Field Guide, that's positive. I've actually not heard of either of those games. Maybe that's on me. But I haven't heard of those games. What are they? Are they like similar to like what the type of games that Golnor plays? Ooh. That would be lit. That would be lit. Yeah. And then it's always a movie, like okay, maybe not every day, but like almost every day would be a movie. It's always lit. It's always like some sick thing happening. Yeah. And like the events can, like everyone in the city, one way or another, can like be invited. So there's always something going on. That would be sick. Like there's so much that can come from that. The Mafia remake is really good, the first one. I don't like Mafia 3. Really? I was really into watching a playthrough of that when it first came out. Years ago now. Christ, man. Funnily enough, I had some gameplay come up on my Instagram earlier today of the Mafia 1 remake. Just thought that's very, very interesting because I don't recall ever seeing Mafia gameplay on my Explore page. And then I mentioned it yesterday, have a little discussion about it. And then this morning it's there. Interesting.
Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe.
Getting chased. You know what that reminds me of, D? So, I mean, I guess it's still happening, but there was like a year or two where like moped robberies here were like rampant. And every time these kids would steal a pet, they'd obviously get chased, and then they'd always like record it or stream it. To be honest, it still goes on, even with cars. They'll just be live streaming themselves in a chase. That's the first thing that came to mind. So it's actually very, very like on brand for, I don't know, maybe especially coming from the UK, not even if it's necessarily London, to sort of have that as an idea. Especially if no pixel. I don't know what 5.0 is going to bring, but I know on a lot of other servers, they have like a live stream functionality, or like even like a video call functionality. So if somehow 5.0 comes with that, man, and then like live stream it onto like Twitter or I don't know, some sort of like a YouTube equivalent, that would be sick. This is what I'm saying, man. Certain situations make you think outside the box. Do it for the gram. I think it's too out there. Like if it was like, even if it was just the letters, like, I don't know, or maybe like FTG for the gram. Yeah, FTG. I don't know if that's a good name or not, but it sounds kind of sick to me. FTG for the gram, and the motto can be like, everything we do for the gram, or something like that. That would be sick. Oh, for drugs. Yeah, literally like every illegal activity. That could really bring a whole new angle to like gangs and stuff in terms of a hub, like for example, like some sort of like internet, you know. It would bring like a whole new dynamic if like everything's posted to like a particular website, quote unquote, in game or something of the sort. Then you can have like a encrypted chat for like drug dealers, basically, like Encro, if you know about Encro, like that kind of thing. 384, you love the number thing, innit? 384. Now see, 384 sounds too discreet. 384 would be what would be used on like on an Encro type thing, on an encrypted like an encrypted WhatsApp sort of thing. Then you'd use like an alias, but I think the DFG would be like just right. Like it's not exposing it completely, but it's also not hiding it completely, you know what I'm saying? I know it can be sick. It's got to be a banger for it to be like a mainstream thing. But otherwise, I think it would make more sense for it to be for a more like low-key undercover kind of thing. You know what the irony is? The game seems to be running a lot smoother as I've reintroduced Jetwash's mod. I don't know if you guys have seen as well, and Bill sent me the video. Jetwash and co are working on a like an enhancement pack for the West Coast Main Line, and a big part of that is lighting. And he did a lighting run, and the fact that it's in 4K obviously definitely helps, but nonetheless you can still tell how good the quality actually is. It's insane, man. And his gameplay is so smooth coming out of Houston. I need to know what setup he has. I know once upon a time he had a 3090. I don't know if that's what he's still rocking or not. I also considered yesterday, like I was thinking to myself, would it be worth just going back to 1080p? Like high refresh rate 1080p. What is that? High refresh rate 1080p. Because that's sort of like, not every video is going to be 4K, not every video is going to be 1440p, but every video is going to be 1080p that you stumble across. It would be a breeze to manage two or three monitors in 1080p. But I thought to myself afterwards, I don't know, 1440p is almost like the perfect middle ground between decent visual quality and performance. Yeah, it caps it at 6,000. It wouldn't just be for streaming though. Streaming would be part of it. Well, I hear different things. I hear 6,000 officially, 6,000 kilobytes. I was doing some research just earlier today, and I saw somebody using 8,000. They were sort of arguing it on Reddit. Someone was like, no, you can't do 8,000. And then they provided like a screenshot of them streaming in 8,000. And I think Twitch partners don't really have a limit. I think Twitch partners can do 1440p. So I don't think that the streams would be any higher than 1080p. I've also seen people say that there's no limit and they can stream at some ridiculous bit rate and it works. I don't know. I've tried streaming above 6,000 and the stream will be up, but it will just be a black screen. Like on YouTube, it will be fine. YouTube has a much higher limit and allowance. On Twitch, it was just a black screen, and I tried it a couple times and it was the same result. So I'll just cap it at 6,000. There's so many variances of like varying opinions about what exactly is the facts. So I don't know. And I know Twitch themselves say 6,000 limit, but there's so many different people saying so many different things. But I'm big on like visual quality or like 4K quality for my own experience. And also, even though my stream's at 1080p, if I play at 4K and stream at 1080p and then play at 1440p and still stream at 1080p, there actually is a visual difference on the stream, even though it's only 1080p. Not a big difference, not as much difference as I will see on my side, but there is a difference. But yeah, it'll be more so for my own enjoyment. I've got a 363 here. I think this might be the first time I've seen a 363 on this route. That might genuinely be the first time. I've done all the scenarios. We've done a bunch of journey mode runs yesterday. That might be the first bloody time. That's a good little loco, man. I love it. A little bit finicky when it comes to the brakes, naturally. I really enjoyed it on. I think there are some runs with it on Mind Special Bahn. I know there's definitely a lot of runs for it on Rössi Ignored. Nah, I haven't touched it since TSW5 released, man. I haven't touched it since like, well, I started playing this on the 12th of September. So let's say probably like literally maybe 10th or 11th of September was the last time I touched the game. Have you touched it at all? Have you tried it out? It's getting like every single day I'm seeing 4 or 5 minor updates. And I'm assuming these are all little stat updates rather than like bug fixes, for example. So it seems impossible from what I'm seeing to narrow down like a min-max type of character and loadout. I have managed to at 6,000 and have dynamic bit rate. Checked on everything with ups 8,000. I only have it off because I don't want it to go down. There's no reason for why it should. My internet's pretty solid. But I don't know. Oh, do I have dynamic? Something's dynamic. Something dynamic. I don't remember exactly what it was though. I might actually have dynamic. But I remember initially having it turned off. Yeah. I mean, it's still relatively new. It's not actually new at all. As much as it's got like quite a small player base. But in the grand scheme of things, it is a relatively new game. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of bedding in. The changing around of things. If one character's OP, not even for a week, a character could be OP for a day, and then it will change. All right, my brakes. I just had a nightmare with my brakes. And we're still gonna make it with passengers probably completely squished. But I just had a nightmare trying to sort it out. It's got a little bit confusing on controller. I need to familiarize myself with the brakes. I will like accidentally hold it somehow, and then it will change the types of brakes. Oh no, you can just tap it. Okay. Good to know. I thought you had to hold it. On keyboard, like independent, direct, train brake, they all have different buttons. So you never make the mistake of applying the wrong type of brakes unless you actually press the wrong keybinds. I am going to have a little bit of enjoyment with the West Coast Mainline stuff. I am going to record just like a run with all the trains. So I'll do a run with the 350, 390, just end to end. I'll do a stop-off service for the 350, 710, 1972 stock as well, and the 66. I'm still yet to try the game in VR. Although realistically, I'm not expecting it to be too much different from the TSW4. I really do think I need a separate system for it. because when I do record it the way I've done before, it's not great. It's not great. It's almost like I've got to record it twice, or have it running twice on the monitor. It's a little bit confusing as a whole thing, because to get image stabilization I have to be running there's like an Oculus app, so it's going to be running there, which basically mirrors exactly what's going on in the headset. So that's going to be basically what's being recorded, but then it's also going to be the game itself being recorded, so it's almost like there's double the power required to run that. Plus it's actually running inside the headset as well, of course. So that's what makes streaming it a nightmare. When it comes to like Euro Truck or American Truck Sim, it's a lot simpler. Although I think the quality could be a little bit better, but it is a lot simpler to run because there's actual VR support for those games. No surprise we haven't got sunny blue skies. At least we haven't got a thunderstorm. Oh boy, coming in real hot. I usually have 1.5 kilometers out as my indicator to start braking, which in itself is kind of cutting it close for what it is. So it does mean that if I miss that, I've got a very small window to notice. Ah, didn't mean to go to emergency. I mean, you know what? We still got a perfect stop. Maybe not in terms of passenger comfort, but we've got a perfect stop, regardless. Alright, my man. Good luck with the meeting. You take care of yourself, man. Thank you for leaving the stream open as well. Appreciate that. I do like the information screen on the front of the train. It looks clean. Really clean. It's a little bit odd having that in green and then it's orange on the Dostos, but I think that's quite nice at the same time. That'll take a while. I don't know whether it's for the brakes to clear, because it can't be for the power to build up. Like, it's quite a powerful loco in its own right. Like it almost reacts like a freight train with regards to the brakes. And I'm pretty sure I've got the brake, or they are in the right setting. They are on B. So I don't know, it's a little bit odd. And I've only noticed it happening during the past two station stops. Hello, Navi. How you doing, mate? I'm going to run the Flex Training Test for the first time soon. Any advice? Enjoy it. Honestly, enjoy it. It's a train I had a lot of enjoyment driving, and I look forward to the journey mode that I'm going to do with it after I finish the core journey mode. The coaches that come with it are really nice. Yeah, it's a good loco, man. Honestly, I think you'll enjoy it. Quite simple in its operation. Don't forget, it's quite powerful as a loco in its own right, as it was, I guess, initially built for freight. So easy on the power, I guess. You'll build up speed very, very quickly. And that's about it. Brakes are pretty decent. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it, honestly. I'm sure you probably already know, but as a reminder, with regards to the speed set, remember that you got to... So if you're using the speed set or the quote-unquote cruise control, when you change it or whenever you set it to any number, make sure you confirm it. So you got to set it and then confirm it, which on the keyboard is Control and R. As far as I believe, there is no keybind for it on a controller, but you can press the notch at the top of the lever and that should give you the option to confirm. Because in real life, they would click it. Yeah, I think we ran... It's got 4 scenarios, if I'm not mistaken. And they're all relatively short, I won't lie. I don't think there are any that exceed an hour. If there are any, it will be like probably one of them and not by much. So you can get through them relatively quickly if you want to do the scenarios. There's only 6 timetable runs, if I'm not mistaken, which is not... It's not great, ultimately. But... It's cool to see. It's cool to see. The color is really nice. It's like the perfect green. And it looks very nice alongside the red. Talking of the Flixtrain only having 6 timetable runs, the part of the enhancement pack for West Coast Mainline, as far as I understand, is going to have a more realistic timetable. So I'm looking forward to that as well. That is going to be a banger of a mod. I'm assuming it's going to bring the 710 and the 1972 stock timetables into the game as well, so we should be seeing a lot more of them. I don't know how true to life the Pendolino and 350 runs are in game. They do seem plentiful, so I would expect quite close to reality, if not as per. But it would be cool getting the layers to also show up. I still think it's a great shame that we didn't get at least the 66 and 1972 stock in the journey modes. I understand the 710 can be 50-50 because it's a layer, but then they could have also made it have its own journey mode if you own the route. And I think if we're talking value for money, ultimately the 3 core routes for the standard price, the standard game price, is incredible value. But I think if we're doing it per route, true value would have been getting as much content out from all the trains available. Like this route. This route seems to have it all. Of course, a lot of the layered trains are missing from the journey mode as well. But there's a lot more variety than you'd get with the West Coast Mainline journey mode. I'm hoping I don't jinx it, but I haven't really seen any stuttering, other than when the instruction changes. To be fair, I didn't see much yesterday as well. I know a few of you in chat apparently noticed some. None of them caught my eye, unless, like, coincidentally every time it happened I was reading chat, or just generally looking away from the screen.
Türfreigabe.
I think I'm going to start trying to break from 2 kilometers out now. 1.5 leaves literally no room for error, and my eyes are not glued to the distance left before the station. You know what it could be worth doing? Checking the Dovetail Live website and just seeing if there's any, not necessarily the website, but the forum, and seeing if there's any news on any updates. Would be cool. To the forum, please. No new announcements. Nothing in the articles, it seems. I think the only issue now with regards to like platforms and DLCs and whatnot is Xbox. I don't think Xbox have all the DLCs available to them yet. Looks like around 90% throttle is the limit before we get hit with wheel slip. At least until we get to like 65, 70 kilometers an hour. Got some LZB running coming up on the way to Langenselbold. We are going to go through those 8 kilometers very, very quickly. And 2 kilometers will ease off the throttle. Maybe a bit too much. I think we're easily going to enter the station at 30 miles or 50 kilometers an hour. Hey, hello Tim, how you doing, mate? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alright, maybe 2 kilometers was... Did that guy just like run across the platform on the left? I think I might go back to my 1.5 kilometer thing. I could just do less breaks at 2 kilometers out, but then it would just be... I think it would just be less efficient at that point. So drive this train yourself. I would have loved to do the 114, but there's no news on it being fixed at all. And I'm starting to slowly wonder, is it going to be fixed? Like a new train for a new core route, and it might just not get fixed. And if it does, it won't be urgently. It won't be anytime soon. I've been awake for seconds. I know, starting your day off with some LWD and some TSW5. You know what? I can respect that. A man of culture. It is just sad at this point, man. I'm doing good, thank you, my man. I'm doing good, honestly. Been productive these last couple of days. Well, yesterday and this morning as well. Getting more and more into the swing of this editing thing. Dealing with life too, but it's I feel good sort of you know, knowing that the ability to push forward is there. As sad as it is, Tim, with regards to the train, you know, possibly not being tended to, is that it's just it's nothing new, innit? It's like, you know, shovel out this onto the next, shovel out that onto the one after, shovel out that onto the one after that, and so on and so forth. Count yourself lucky if things get fixed. And being on console, you guys and Xbox users can't even rely on like mods to fix things. You know, we're getting a we've gotten the branding back for the 350 and the stations on West Coast Mainland. There's an enhancement pack coming that improves the night lighting so much. Basically, it's doing what ultimately should have been done in the first place, minus the branding stuff. The timetable is also bringing a realistic timetable to the route. I'm not sure what trains are affected, but I'm assuming that's going to mean we get realistic running for the 1972 stock and the Class 710. You know, and console players just won't get to see that. They'll never have that full experience. Welcome back, Tommy. Like I was saying before TSW5 was released, know what you're getting yourself into. Like when I was talking about pre-orders, right, and I made mine, I would reiterate the fact that I know what I've bought into. So if we get bugs day one, if we get a messy release, anything that we've seen previously, you know, that Dovetail have been known for previously, I won't be surprised. I'm not going to be angry that have spent money. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think if anyone who's been around for a while when it's come to Train Sim World expects different to what we've seen previously, the only good thing in that is that a person has hope. Hope is a beautiful thing. That's it. So I don't think it will be sad expecting things to be different. I think it would be more silly, if I'm going to be totally honest. Which can be a dangerous opinion to have, but I think it's a realistic one. And I'm happy to, you know, debate it. Hope is all we have. I ain't got hope. I've got a desire. Like, I obviously want the game to be better. I want Dovetail to handle the game and treat the game and the player base better. I have that desire. Am I hopeful that that's going to happen? Not at all. It's that whole thing of, if you don't have expectations, you can't have disappointment. And it's good to, I guess, live in a fantasy where the fantasy of, oh, but they could do that. Oh, I believe they will. It's nice to live that little fantasy. It feels good. It feels fuzzy, but it's not realistic. I'm thinking the texture issues I've been experiencing on Kensington might be intentional. They probably slapped low quality text on everything to improve performance. I don't, man. If they've done anything of the sorts to PlayStation 5, I'd be very worried. We know the optimization is bad across the board. We know, but damn. If they feel the need to do that, I think that's a different level of worry that we need to feel at that point. With that music and that scenery in front of the train, Adnan seems depressed. That doesn't make sense. Maybe the scene feels depressing, but it can't make me feel depressed. I'm chilling. But maybe the scene can be deemed depressing. And hey, blame Dovetail for that, honestly. The music is chilling. This isn't like some sad music necessarily. Like if it was sunny and summer conditions, the trees were green, the leaves were green, it would be a very chill, relaxed session. It's only because of the greyness that it feels like the music is depressing. I'm on 18 FPS, by the way. Why? God knows. We've been on 60 this whole time. I've been commending the performance, and here we are. Literally at 18, 19 FPS. If the stream goes down, you'll know why. We're nowhere near Frankfurt, by the way. We're nowhere near Frankfurt. I've got an RTX 3080 Ti. I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM. Go figure. Go figure. Hello, Nabil. Why didn't you hear earlier? Or am I saying hello to you for the first time? Hello, nonetheless, whether I said it to you already or not, I guess. Your PC's getting the same, Dommy. Well, let me tell you this, Dommy. Before the stream, I ran the game at 1080p. 1080p. And I was in Frankfurt, and I was hovering around where all the trains are stabled. I was getting high 20s. 1080p. 1080p. I was getting high 20s. I've got an RTX 3080 Ti. 12 gigabytes of VRAM on it. Go figure.